Okay, real quick, before we begin the review. I have seen countless reviews for this movie, and I would be remiss not to mention something that no one has mentioned. That Michelle Williams got her start in Hollywood playing the girlfriend and later ex-girlfriend of the most Spielberg-obsessed lead character on television, only for almost 30 years later to be playing Spielberg's mother. For those who got my reference, that's a reference to Dawson's Creek. And if you got it before I said the title Dawson's Creek, you get a cookie. Congratulations. Oh, and happy Thanksgiving, everyone, even though it's not going to be Thanksgiving anymore by the time this posts. Happy Turkey Day. Gobble, gobble. Hi, it's me, Grant, the movie and TV guy. By the way, I heard you. Smoke detector fixed. So you will not be hearing any chirping tonight, at least as far as I know. So, that being said, hello everyone. Welcome to Raise Up Awkward with Grant. I am Grant, the movie and TV guy. Today we're talking about a movie that I was very excited for. That movie is, movies and TVs that we do here, The Fabelmans. The Fabelmans is directed and for the first time in 20 some odd years, co-written by Steven Spielberg. It is loosely based on his childhood. And what's the story? Well, story centers on a little boy by the name of Sammy Fabelman. When we first meet him in the opening scene of the film, he's kind of an anxious kid, and his parents are taking him as a very little boy to see his first movie, Cecil B. DeMille's The Greatest Show on Earth. At least very, very nervous about it at first. His mother, played by Michelle Williams, convinces him to go in, and his father, played by the great Paul Dano, further convinces him by explaining to him how movies work. Being an engineer, a computer engineer himself, little Sammy sees the epic train crash sequence, and though his parents are worried that he's going to be horrified, instead he's inspired. He wants a train set for Christmas to recreate the train crash with his father's camera. From that moment on, Sammy will forever be hooked. We then pick up with him very shortly after. He's now a young man, played in a terrific performance by relative newcomer Gabriel LaBelle, who is phenomenal here. He is with his scout troop making movies together, along with his scout troop, his dad and his father in tow, as well as his siblings, one of whom is played by the terrific child actress Julia Butters, who I didn't recognize I gotta be honest, her first couple scenes. She's also terrific in the film, of course. And they shoot movies inspired by some all-time favorites. But here's the big issue. So, the inciting incident. Among his family is a very strange triangle that begins to form while trying to make a home movie of a camping trip. Sammy catches something he really is not supposed to catch, involving his mother and his father's best friend, and the sort of affectionate uncle of sorts of the family, played by Seth Rogen. This will cause a ripple effect that will cause an implosion within the household, as Sammy tries to keep his life together and follow his dreams at the exact same time, despite the fact that though his mother is a free spirit and a little kooky, his father doesn't necessarily support him right away, thinking it's just a hobby. Of course he does, and wants him to do something more practical. And this is his journey from anti-Semitic bullying that he faces for being a Jewish person in his school, as well as various family issues. Will Sammy become a filmmaker, or will the various dramas in his life make him forget his dream before it even begins? We all know what inevitably will happen, because we know the story, but we don't quite know the journey to get there. Let that journey begin. So, The Fabelmans is a very interesting movie, because it's a movie that is loosely about Spielberg. It does not include his name, and it's the first movie, like I said, he's written in 21 years. The last film he wrote was AI, Artificial Intelligence. That was 21 years ago, I believe. And so, this is kind of a big deal. This is his 35th film. I've seen all of his films. And I like a lot of those films. don't say I'm biased, because anybody who watches this channel knows I adore this man. I just loved The Fabelmans. I really loved this movie. I thought it was just magical. It took me away from moment one, and it never let up until a pretty phenomenal ending with a cameo that is so good I will not even dare spoil it, and a terrific line by said cameo that you'll know when you hear it. That just floored me. I love this movie. From every little moment. And the detractors of this film have argued that it's a little bit melodramatic and sentimental, and my answer to that is, of course it is. It's Steven Spielberg. He's very much a filmmaker of big emotions. And that is hard to do. Spielberg's one of the few people who really can pull it off. Michelle Williams is terrific. Paul Dano's terrific. Seth Rogen's terrific. Judd Hirsch is just the great Judd Hirsch. It has one big scene in this movie, and it's one of the best scenes in the film. We also got drop-ins from people like, well, I can't say with the cameos, but like Julia Butters, for instance, is just great in the film as well. Gabriel Bateman has like a short but kind of memorable role as a sort of school friend of Sammy's. All that stuff. All these are phenomenal. All these actors are phenomenal, but I have to say, Gabriel LaBelle, where has this kid been? He came out like a shot from the blue. And to hold your own against titans like Williams and Dano and Rogen, that's hard enough. But to actually, kind of in some scenes, better them, that's really hard for a newcomer. And Gabriel LaBelle is just... This kid's a movie star. Like, he has it. He has a sense of humor. He's lovable. He's easy to root for. He's wide-eyed, but he's not precocious or irritating or sanctimonious about it. He's great. He's great. And the scenes between him and any of the... There's one big particular blow between him and Michelle Williams that is just heartbreaking and beautiful. And it's also her best scene in the film in a very subtle way, the way that scene ends. Involving her watching a movie he created just for her. But the other thing is, as a Spielberg nerd, there's all these little things, these little details I love. I love the early sort of amateur films he did where they kind of show the occasions of that. And there are seeds of things you've seen before. For instance, there's a scene where he's doing a war film and he's kind of coaching this actor on how to emote in the scene. And when they show the film, it's almost like an amateur precursor to the Normandy battle from Saving Private Ryan. Like, the way it's shot, you can see already the angles kind of going, and that kind of genius for camera angles, and, coming from a more, primitive tech, and it just really works. Another thing I really love about this movie, and then I'm going to kind of wrap this up, the other thing I really love about this movie is that the adult characters... And I don't think it's a spoiler to say about the affair between Williams and Rogen because it happens pretty early in the film. He's also... I was worried going in because also I would say the trailer kind of is lame for this movie despite how good the movie is. It's another one of those cases where, yeah, see the movie but fire whoever cut the trailer. But... It looks a lot more sappy, and unless it is. First off, I will say this. It's also probably one of the funniest Spielberg movies. Like, there's actually some really good, funny moments in this. The other thing is, I love that the adults in his life, unlike what it seems from the trailer, are complicated figures. Like, there are scenes in this movie that are shown out of context in the trailer to make it look like the dad is stifling his dreams and the mom is too much of a crazy person. They're not. They're shades of... These characters are really complicated characters, and he doesn't take sides. He doesn't approach it from praising them or villainizing them. He just portrays it probably as it really was. This is a great film. This is a great... Like, one of the very best films of the year, and I know that it seems kind of redundant to say this because it feels like lately every review I've said this, but this is just this year for movies, and especially this last month or so... November's almost over. I have not seen a film that is less than 3 stars this month. I mean, this month has been, and a lot of them have been the highest. This movie is one of them. I loved The Fabelmans, and you know what? Let's close it right there. I'm going to give The Fabelmans, you see it, bang, 5 out of 5 stars plus. I loved this movie. I loved it. Call me biased, I don't care. I love this movie. It made me cry. It made me laugh. I adored this film. beautiful, beautiful, magical film. Go see The Fabelmans right now. It's not doing very well. Please support this movie. Glass Onion will be there, if you want to see, if you need to see a movie right now, maybe go see Glass Onion because it's only going to be playing for a week. But after that, I implore you to see The Fabelmans. It's so good. Anyway, we're going to run out of time, though, and we have some other stuff to get to. So, Fabelmans gets 5 out of 5 stars plus. Let's close the book on it. Trailer trash. Let's talk some trailer trash. I think we can kind of blow through a lot of these. Strange World, which was weird because I'm seeing it tomorrow and it's already out, but Strange World, I'm seeing it tomorrow. Looks good. Empire of Light, talked about it, looks pretty good. The Jesus Revolution. Jesus and hippies, man. I don't know. A Man Called Otto, looks good, talked about it a bunch. Babylon looks good, talked about it a bunch. Women Talking looks good, talked about it a bunch. Knock at the Cabin looks good, talked about it a bunch. Oppenheimer looks good, talked about it a bunch. And it was their Sharma. Not really, but there are 2 very prominent dedications after the credits. That's what I'll say. Alright. And that's it. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Or, I guess, day after Thanksgiving. Just after Thanksgiving. Go see The Fabelmans. We'll be back tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. I'm gonna watch it late tonight, but I might not shoot the review till I get up tomorrow before Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. We'll also review tomorrow for Strange World. We're going to flip-flop it a little bit. Saturday is Devotion, Sunday is Fantasy Football, and Violent Night is next Thursday. The Quintessential Quintuplets movie is next Friday, and more to come. That'll all be next time. And until next time, I'm Grant, the movie and TV guy. I see it all, and I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I love how the class is missed. I love you 3000. Be kind to one another. If you like this video, give it a like if you want to. Give it a subscribe if you want to. Give it the bell. I don't know what it does that's supposed to do, or so I've been told. Leave a comment, even if it's, hey Grant, I like waffles. It really helps out. If you want to find me elsewhere, reviews, listen to other fun stuff, you can check me out on Letterboxd.com at Raised on Popcorn with Grant. On Twitter, I'm at Raised Grant. You can also find me on Facebook, Raised on Popcorn with Grant. Serialized, all one word, all lowercase, Raised on Popcorn. You can also check out my podcast, Raised on Popcorn with Grant, the podcast on Spotify and Anchor. Some of you already have, but even if you haven't, take care of yourself, take care of your mental health. It's incredibly important. And I want to know down below, what did you think of The Fabelmans? Did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? Think my opinion's good? Think I'm full of shit? Comment below, let me know. And until we meet again, we were all raised on popcorn. Make mine with extra butter. I'll catch you guys next time. Take care. Happy Thanksgiving. Gobble gobble. See you later. Bye.